Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade team for November week 3. And this week our story is about the parable of the talents. And our bottom line is use your things wisely. Our life app for the month is stewardship, taking care of what you have because it all belongs to God. And our memory verse for this month is whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 6:10. And then don't forget, we have these stickers for all the kids. Just talk to your small group about the Be Rich campaign. We're going to actually be doing this in kids ministry through all of November and December, because in December we're talking about generosity. And we have our little change collector out in the hallway. Challenge kids to bring in some change each week. We're trying to get to $1,000 for our Oak Ridge Kids Haiti. There are 70 kids that are currently being fed there every single week, and they need some new school supplies. So that's what we are trying to raise money for. So don't forget to tell your small groups about the Be Rich campaign. All right, heading into this week's activities, just make sure that you're here at 8:30 and 10:30. Take a minute and pray for your kids that are going to be coming. Pray for Oak Ridge kids in general. Just ask God to help kids see that how they take care of their stuff is really important. So as kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, ask kids about their week, get to know their names. If you have any kids that are here for the first time, just really make a special effort to make them feel welcome and comfortable and introduce them to some of the other kids in your group. Then for an icebreaker, there's just some little questions. Did anybody use the verse spinner from last week? How did you use your time wisely last week? And did you spend time with God last week? Then at 9 and 11, when service starts, your intro activity is called What's the Stuff? So what you're going to do is you're just going to hold up your hand like you're ready to get a high five. And then you're going to say one of these riddles. And the first kid to run up and give you a high five and say the right object gets a point. And the kid with the most points after everything has been read is the winner. So you can give them a piece of candy that's left over. Hold on one second. Or whatever that might be. Or they can lead kids to try to make up stuff of their own. So, for example, the first one says, here you go, Tanky. The first one says, a round object that's kicked, thrown, or hit in a game. And you're going to have your hand up. They'll run up, give you a high five, and someone will say ball, and they get a point. So there's all the little definitions that you have. And when you finish the game, you're just going to say, you guys did a great job identifying all that stuff. So let's head to large group, and we're going to hear about what God has to say about using our stuff. Henry, bring that here so I can turn it down really quick. So you'll head across the hall. Let me turn it down. Okay, sorry, you guys have to listen to that in the background. Come here and let me turn it down, please. You'll head across the hallway to large group. Just make sure that you sit with your small group. Help them engage. Keep them on task. Try to keep them as focused as possible, just because that's a really important time in the morning. Then, hold on, let me turn this down so it's not distracting me.
Mommy.
Oh, shush, I'm turning it down. Okay. Sorry. Then when you get back to your group at 9:40 and 11:40, you're going to play a game called Use It, Don't Lose It. So you'll split your group into 2 teams, and in your cart, you are going to have some stuff cards that are white, and they just say a bunch of stuff. So we have games, books, a watering can, instruments, food, sports equipment, all kinds of stuff. And then you're going to have these cards that say you lose it. Some of them say lose it, and some of them say use it. So let's see. You'll shuffle those up, and you'll put those face down. And then you'll shuffle these up, and you'll put those face down. So you'll have yellow cards and white cards shuffled up and face down. So what you're going to do is teams are going to take turns. They'll pick one white card for a stuff and one yellow card for use it or lose it. So if they get a use it card, they have to give an example of how they would use the stuff wisely. So if they got use it in food, they would say, I would eat all the dinner that I put on my plate. But if they pick a lose it card and then they pick food, then they have to say how they would lose the object because they didn't use it wisely. So for example, I put too much food on my plate and I threw the rest of it. I wasted food and threw it away. Okay? Or I was playing with my food, so my mom took it away from me and I lost it. I left my book sitting outside, and so it got ruined in the rain, whatever that might be. So then when you've gone through all your cards, you're just going to say, so guys, stewardship is about taking care of the stuff we have, because it belongs to God, and God doesn't want us to waste the things that he's given us. God wants us to use our things wisely. And you guys came up with some creative way to use your stuff. Everything belongs to God, and when we use our things wisely, we might just discover fun ways that God can use us and our things to care for the world and other people. So then you are going to play a fun little memory verse game. So you're going to see a pile like this. It's just a bunch of pieces of paper. When you set it out, it looks like this, and you can mix it up. It doesn't have to be in order, but you'll notice that the first word of the verse is the tallest, and the last word of the verse is the shortest. So what you're going to do is you're going to put them down on one side of your space, and like I said, you can have them mixed up, not in the right order, and you'll have 2 sets per group. So first service, you'll have 2 sets of these. Second service, you'll have 2 sets of these, okay? So you'll split your team into 2, and it'll be a little relay race. So the first team is going to run down, and they're going to pick up the tallest card. However, they can only use their mouth to pick up the piece of paper, and only their feet can touch the floor. So they can't kneel down, they can't get on their belly, so they have to kind of balance. And obviously the person that goes last and has this little bitty one, they're going to really have to balance to get down low and pick up that piece of paper with their mouth. So you want them to do it in order, and as soon as they pick up one, they'll bring it back to their line. The next person will go to pick up the next one, bring it back to their line. Kind of a fun little game there. It says paper bags on your leader guide, but I changed it to make it a little bit easier. So we have a new thing for second service, so you don't have to worry about reusing them after their mouths have been on them. So then you're just going to say, guys, this verse sums up Jesus' parable that we heard in large group today. What happened in the parable when the people weren't afraid and they used what they were given wisely? Then they were given more. That's right. And just like in the parable, when you can be trusted to use small things wisely, you show others that you can be trusted to use big things wisely. So maybe you share your craft supplies with friends, and your parents see how generous you are, they might buy you more craft supplies. Or if your teachers see how you include your classmates when you're playing at recess, she might ask you to be part of a special group for kids who just moved to the new school. So if you practice playing the piano every day, you might get better, and you might get to play some special events. If you practice soccer every day, you might get better and get on a better soccer team. When you use your things wisely, even little things, you show others that God can use you to make a difference, and you show others that you can be trusted with bigger things too. So then when you pray, just challenge kids to think of something that they have and how they will use it wisely this week. They could share their ideas with the group if they'd like. And then you'll just kind of close down by saying, so guys, God has given us all of these things to use, and it's our job to use them wisely. It's your job to take care of what you have because it belongs to God. So this week, look for ways that you can use what you have to serve God and serve others. And look for ways that you could share your things and use your things to make a difference in the world. So next week, I'd love to hear stories about that. So then you can use this little prayer, or you can obviously say your own prayer. And that's it, guys. Just thank you. Depending on when you're watching this, I hope that you are coming to our volunteer appreciation night tomorrow night at 6:30. It is going to be so much fun. If you're watching this on Saturday, I hope that you came and that you had a blast. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for serving in Oak Ridge Kids. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you on Sunday.